Hey everybody, in this video we're going to check out my Arcade1UP collection thus far. Stay tuned.
Welcome Harrison Hats.
Hey guys, welcome back to Harrison Hacks. Today I'm going to be talking about my Arcade1UP setup I got going on here. So it's going to be a brief video, but I do want to talk about a few different generations. So I have the Street Fighter 2 cabinet. This was a first generation. It does not have like a custom Street Fighter riser, it just has the Arcade1UP riser. However, you can purchase the Street Fighter ones, and I'm going to do that because all of these other three here, we have Mortal Kombat, we have Ninja Turtles, and we have Golden Tee. They all have custom risers. I think they look fantastic, so that's kind of the route that I'm going to go. But for now, this one serves its purpose. The other thing with the original first gen cabinets is it did not have a deck protector included. They stopped giving them away for free, so I did have to purchase them. Now, I have two Street Fighters. I got them on clearance in Canada. I spoke about this in my latest Harrison Yaks video, so go ahead and check that out. I'll link in the top right-hand corner of this video for that one. I'm modding the other one as we speak. So the other one has a Raspberry Pi and the LCD board controller and Sanwa joysticks, and it's turning out really well. Looks and functions. It's going to get its own video. But for this one, I just want to talk to you guys about the three different generations that I have of Arcade1UPs. So first gen, like I said, no riser, no deck protector, and the volume is just off, medium, high. Now we move on to the second gen, which would be Mortal Kombat and Golden Tee. And basically the same thing. So Mortal Kombat and Golden Tee do come with risers. They both came with deck protectors. The joysticks on the Mortal Kombat compared to Street Fighter. So we are getting the bat top, which I will be changing these ball tops out for bat tops. I think I'm blocking that. But now, also these do feel a little better. I find it's easier to do moves. These ones are going to get swapped out for Sanwas. So, but I have my modded Street Fighter in the works as well. So we got the deck protector, we got the riser, the volume, same thing. We'll get on to the third gen in a second. Off, medium, high. The buttons feel okay. They're not great. I'd like to change those out as well. Before we get to the third gen turtles, we'll just pass on by over to the Golden Tee. So the Golden Tee I really like. It's a custom riser, but it's very simple. You get obviously the trackball. And the trackball works rather well. It's a pretty good trackball, unlike the Gen 1 ones. People were having issues with the trackballs and the spinners. Buttons don't really matter. You've got turn left, turn right, and start. Now the volume, same thing. All we get is off, medium, and high. But we get a light up marquee. So I think that looks fantastic. And I know that there's third-party places doing the lighted marquee for all of them, and I want to do that. This stands out to me when I turn it on, when it's nighttime especially and it's dark in here. It looks fantastic, so I want to do that to all of my different cabinets that I own. And we'll move on to the last but not least, the third gen. So artwork is fantastic on the turtles. I'm a huge fan of it, as obviously it's a 4-player. The joysticks, again, ball tops instead of bat tops. However, for this type of game, not a big deal. And it's the same with the buttons. I don't find the buttons to be great, but they're really, it's playable. It's not like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat. These ones aren't so bad. This one does give you volume options, so you can scroll up and down with the volume if I want to. And I really like that. You can go from 0 to 15. I think that's really cool. The one thing missing on the turtle cabinet, because it is the same price, at least here in Canada, as the Golden Tee, this should have had a lighted marquee. I know at CES they showed one that had a lighted marquee. I think this one should have already had it to begin with. But that is the third gen. Again, we get the riser, we do get the deck protector, a little bit of T-molding going on here. It's not, it's not the arcade quality, but for home, and actually, like, me and my two sons put some use into these. It's fantastic. If you have a child that's like between 2 and 5, I'd say, without the riser, it's perfect height. My 8-year-old son can play on with the riser perfectly, and so can I. It's a very nice height. So I'm very happy with the Arcade1UPs. Um, I'll go a little bit later into this video. We're going to switch on over to a different camera view, and we'll go and talk about their customer service and the good and the bad that I've had so far with Arcade1UP in my personal experience. So let's talk a little bit about my customer service experience with Arcade1UP. Something that if you become a customer of theirs, you might have some issues as well. A lot of people knock it. They do get back to you quickly at first, and now I'm still waiting. As in my previous Harrison Yaks video when I talked about having to get the deck protectors for Street Fighter, I still only have one. I've yet to hear anything back. They offered me tracking number, but I've never gotten an email with a tracking number, so I have no idea what's going on there. I've updated the ticket, no clue. I did actually get the part for my turtle cabinet that was missing a cam lock, and they really did send me the wrong part. Luckily, my Mortal Kombat cabinet came with spare parts that had an extra cam lock in it, but Arcade1UP just didn't even pay attention to my messages about sending the wrong part, and they just sent me the wrong part. And it's just, now I've got them, but I don't need them. So luckily, Mortal Kombat's spare parts bag had the spare part I needed. I am not happy with their customer service, as many others aren't as well. It could be worse, but it definitely needs improvement because it could be a lot better. I'm not going to get too much into it. I mean, this video was, I'm not knocking Arcade1UP. I am a fan. The artwork looks fantastic. As the generations go on, which is kind of what I was wanting to showcase in this video a little bit, they're making improvements and they are listening to their customers. As far as like the volume control, it looks like a lot of the cabinets these days are going to have lighted marquees. I don't know if they'll all have lighted marquees, but it is something that they've incorporated into some of their cabs. The joysticks with bat tops, especially like Mortal Kombat, because Street Fighter should have had bat tops as well. But there's a lot of things, the deck protectors being included. A lot of the machines come with risers included now, which is fantastic. But again, I mean, there's so many good things to say about the Arcade1UP machines. They don't take up a lot of space. Other than turtles, I think the rest of them are only like 19 inches wide, which is just very, very space saving and great for someone with a small area to put their arcades. Honestly, I recommend maybe modding like a Street Fighter or a Marvel cabinet and just putting a crap ton of games into it if you can only fit one machine. Now, if you've got a little bit more money, I would go over to like Game Room Solutions and get their 3/4, or go over to Rec Room Masters and get their 3/4. And I know Tulsa Arcades is looking to do an Arcade1UP Killer is what they're calling it, and it's coming soon. So those are ones that I'm certainly going to look into. But yeah, I mean, they're going to take up a small footprint, but they will be a lot better quality. So depending. My Arcade1UPs for me and my kids is fantastic. They'll hold up, no problem. And I really do like the option. I mean, my little guy he's 2 years old, soon to be 3. When I put the Ninja Turtle cabinet on the floor without a riser, it's perfect height for him, and he can enjoy the games, and I can sit down and play comfortably as well. And it's not that far of a reach down for my 8-year-old son either. He's kind of tall for his age, but he can still play it very comfortably as well. I've asked him numerous times, how do you feel when it's off the riser? But again, like kids that are 8 and older, and adults as well, when you put the machine on the riser, it's a great height. It's perfect height. It's very comfortable. And again, aesthetically, they look fantastic. They do come with, minor imperfections and things like that. But after wear and tear of usage, you're going to get that anyway. So as long as it's not major, like I don't mind a little nick and a scratch here, that's not, severely noticeable. I don't mind the Arcade1UPs. So again, I mean, there's a lot of good and a lot of bad, but honestly, Arcade1UP, I'd recommend them. I feel like the price point is a little high, especially in Canada. When I see the clearance prices down in the States, like Ninja Turtles for $199, I mean, it's worth it. That's where it's worth it. I mean, even up to $249 US for the turtle cabinet, I think would be a fair price if it were always that price. With NBA Jam coming out with online capabilities, I got a feeling that one's going to be pretty expensive. And I know they're doing like a limited run around Father's Day, as well as release to the public in the third quarter, like a mass-produced. So we'll have to see if there's any variances between the two cabinets, if you get the first edition of NBA Jam or the second one. But I am excited for that. The Golden Axe cabinet looks fantastic. Um, and I still want to do a WrestleFest cabinet, but I may just do a full-size 4-player WrestleFest cabinet. I can't make my mind up. But I'm going to stop rambling, and this is what I think about Arcade1UP. Anyone that's had experiences with Arcade1UP, feel free to post in the comments. Let everyone know what your experience is, good, bad, and the ugly. I mean, that's kind of what you get with Arcade1UP, is all three of those things. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. I really appreciate you watching. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, have a good day.